What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Apparently, Hardin and Tessa are going to tie the knot in the 5th installment of the franchise. Yeah, you heard that right. There's gonna be another film, and this one will serve as a conclusion to their story. Fans are, however, going to meet Hardin and Tessa's kids, and well, they're cousins. Here is why After 5 is about to blow your mind.
He lived his life for himself.
Floating in space.
And then it shifted.
We're about to get into some spoilers for After Ever Happy, so come back if you haven't watched the movie yet. The most important thing is that the story continues. That's for sure. I mean, we weren't ready for such a cliffhanger in a film that was supposed to feature the wedding of our beloved protagonist. And thankfully, the film ended up with the simple "to be continued." By the way, I loved what they did with Hardin. He overcame his drinking problems and he decided he was gonna become a published author all of a sudden. This showed a bit of a rushed but much needed character development in the male lead of the franchise. As for Tessa, well, she was always the smart girl who just fell in love with the troubled boy. I loved her from the beginning of the series. I loved Hardin too, but he was getting on my nerves a little bit. Anyways, fans thought this story between the lovebirds was over, until the fan favorite Hero Finds Tiffin announced that this was not the end. In a video posted to the official After Instagram account, the actor, who became a Hollywood heartthrob thanks to the portrayal of Hardin opposite Josephine Lang for Tessa, announced that there will be another film. Oh, and he also mentioned something about the next installment being filmed already. Well, this truly feels like an early Christmas gift. Okay, now I know there's a lot of people criticizing the film because of the unhealthy relationship between the two leads, the double standards, and of course, the good naive girl falling in love with the bad boy plot. But come on, these actors did a great job with the film that spanned over 4 additional projects. I honestly love what they did with Anna Todd's books and the portrayal of an unhealthy relationship. That should teach us all we should never ignore red flags, even though Tessa did the opposite. We should all learn from their mistakes. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, Hero did the announcement just 2 weeks before the theatrical release of After Ever Happy, the 4th film in the franchise. As Hero says, a lot of things about the film are kept under wraps, but we did our job and discovered some plot details and theories that will actually blow your mind. Now seriously, what kind of direction will After 5 go? What's the plot? Well, that's a good question, and sadly, your guess is as good as mine. The crew and the cast tried their best to keep this film a secret because we didn't even know they were filming another film until Hero announced that filming wrapped up. There is, however, a 5th book in the book series by Anna Todd, titled Before, which serves as a prequel to Hardin and Tessa's story. After Everything wouldn't be based on this book because, from what we know, the project will serve as a direct continuation of the 4th installment. We do know that you need to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Back in April 2021, the creators revealed that a movie about Hardin's past, loosely based on Before, was already in development.
So, by sleeping with me, I think you just agreed to start seeing me again.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
There's another spin-off in the works. This one's gonna focus on Tessa and Hardin's children, Emery and Auden and their cousin Addie. Sadly, Hero and Josephine won't appear in these 2 projects, and they will make their last appearance in the After universe in the last chapter of the character's love story. Yeah, I know what you're all wondering. Are they dating IRL? Apparently, Hero and Jo never dated in real life, but because of their perfect on-screen chemistry, some fans believe they were dating at some point but decided to keep their relationship a secret. The fact that they were never linked to anyone else supports this theory. Anyway, we already mentioned that the 4th film finally gave more character development to Hero, but this doesn't mean his Tessa issues are over. It's quite the opposite. Their problems have just begun. So, at the end of After Ever Happy, fans are left with hundreds of questions and a couple of cliffhangers. At the end of the film, we see Tessa went to see Hardin in a book reading session. This wasn't a reunion because Tessa decided to just stand there and stare at him. She left the place without saying anything to him, and he never saw her. But, as the film suggests, he felt her presence. And although they both have feelings for each other, they decided to do nothing about it. After Ever Happy ends, but the story of Tessa and Hardin isn't over, and it's obvious that the 5th installment will continue right after the 4th film stopped. Maybe in the upcoming film, Tessa and Hardin will separate and will end up with different partners. We don't really want to see this, but maybe the creators will pull off a kissing booth ending. Now, let's jump into some surprising details, shall we? While the fifth film has wrapped up filming, we are waiting for the exact release date to be announced. Since the movie was filmed in secret, we don't expect to hear a release date soon, and it's likely that we'll see a trailer a couple of months prior to the release date. In the announcement, Hiro said he's excited to finally share some massive news with you all, explaining how they just wrapped filming on the fifth After movie. And as he said, he can't tell you too much about it just yet, but he can tell you that it will be called After Everything. The name itself suggests that this will be a direct continuation of the fourth installment. Okay, so we previously mentioned that the franchise is based on Anna Todd's novels, but even though the franchise tried to stay loyal to the source material, the fourth film had a lot of changes. For instance, the fourth book ends with a time jump where Tessa and Hardin have 2 children, and the fourth movie ends on a sad note instead as Tessa and Hardin are separated. Their last breakup occurs when Tessa discovers that the book Hardin had been writing is called After. The book is about their relationship struggles, and as expected, Tessa isn't interested in the idea of everyone finding out about her private life. As mentioned before, Tessa goes to a reading of Hardin's book, and when she leaves, she sees Hardin looking at another woman. He doesn't notice Tessa at first, but he sees her when she's leaving. He decides to do nothing, and the last scene we see is of Tessa walking off into the rain.
Dowlish and Sons wanted the book to release immediately, so picked up the phone.
There's some fans claiming Hardin will move on with someone else in the fifth installment before he and Tessa finally realize they're meant for each other and they'll be given their happily ever after by the end of the fifth movie. The fifth movie will obviously continue right after the scene with Tessa walking away from Hardin. I was a bit disappointed to see a different version from the source material because, in the book, there are so many other things happening with multiple time jumps. But because there are so many other things, maybe the creators decided to split the book and tell it through 2 different movies. Before we knew that a fifth film was happening, the director confirmed she was working on 2 more movies. As aforementioned, the first one is based on the prequel before that focuses on Hardin, mostly his childhood, and the other is set to be focused on their children. According to Hiro, it would be great if you smash that subscribe button and notification bell, just so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. Landon told Teen Vogue that Emery, Auden, and Addie are quite beloved by the fans, so they've all gotten a lot of inquiries about what happens with the kids, adding that she thinks it's really amazing actually to see how interested the fan base is in those children, even though they were only superficially introduced in the books. We'll see you in the next video.